And now it's time for another edition of What Would Jello Do? Again, I'm not at all shocked that Trump Amok and his barnyard friends are trying to completely pull the plug on the United States Postal Service. Maybe even put it completely out of business in September or something for reasons that are partly unknown. Of course, partly he admitted it's to cheat and make sure people can't do voting by mail, even though he and Melania are voting by mail. Oh, but that's just absentee ballots. Those are all absentee ballots, and it's the only way most people are going to be able to vote in this so-called election that he's really trying to nail down. Yeah, see, this is all the ways I'm going to cheat. What? Stop me. Try and stop me. Look what I'm doing to Portland. I'm going to do that to you if you riot after I steal the election all over the country. Jared, make it so. You know, things like that. Well, why would they want to suddenly pull the plug on the Postal Service? We all depend on the Postal Service. You would then have 633,000 more people without jobs, although compared to a normal Trump week during COVID-19, that isn't bad. That's only about half of the usual total. And a lot of the people who have those jobs are people who were veterans, who are a little disabled in one way or another or can't get some other jobs. The Postal Service has always been very kind in that regard. It was a place to go to get some work. Postal Service handles 140 plus billion pieces of mail every year. Where are they all going to go? Well, so far you can see the stacks of the mail-in ballots that they're not shipping to anybody, and they're taking away the mail order sorting machines that would take 30 human beings to sort the same amount of mail. Maybe we should all volunteer. Hey, Biden, why don't you rally people to do that? Yeah. And as it is, the Postal Service has a retail network larger than McDonald's, Starbucks, and Walmart combined. This is what they want to destroy. Why have they been salivating at the idea of destroying the Postal Service in order to privatize it for practically 20 years at least? Not because it's failing, not because it's going under, but because it's working. Just like Social Security, look how well this is actually working. What if we can steal it and just lose it all on Wall Street? It's other people's money. Maybe we can finally use this as the clampdown to steal the Postal Service. But what they're not talking about is, why is the Postal Service so in debt when the revenue coming in keeps growing every year? Well, a law went through in 2006 when Clown Prince W and the Repugs had the White House and both houses of Congress, where they passed a law requiring the Postal Service to pre-fund 75 years worth of employee pensions. All these people who might not ever work there, depending on how the Postal Service evolves, who haven't even been born yet, you have to prepay all these pensions anyway. $110 billion worth of pensions and things, all prepaid in advance, and they keep doing it and going in the hole. And then is it used for pensions? No, it keeps getting scooped up and just put back into the general fund to help pay off the national debt. There is a bill passed in the House already, the USPS Fairness Act, to rectify this. But what I wanted to know during all 8 years of Obama and Biden, why didn't they fix this? This should have been fixed long ago. It's just like that thing Bush quickly did to fire all the high-end tax inspectors for the IRS who went after rich people and corporations and just announced, we're going to concentrate on middle class and poor people from now on. And Obama and Biden did nothing. So in other words, where the Postal Service is at now is not entirely Trump's fault or that jackass he's put in as Postmaster General or Bush. It is also very much the fault of the Obama and Biden regime for not getting rid of that stupid law that no other business anywhere in the world has been required to do ever. Just picking on the Postal Service to try and destroy it in order to steal it. instead of destroying it, in addition to getting those ballots out, which can still be done, and at least it's getting in the news cycle now about that, there's other ways to revitalize the Postal Service. Between 1911 and 1967, the Post Office also functioned as a bank. You could get small loans. You could have savings accounts there, which for somebody in rural areas or somebody who doesn't want to deal with Wells Fargo or Bank of America and have all these other accounts open in their name they don't know about, or other forms of weird skimming and this and that, you go there. Public banks are a great idea. Cities like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania have it. State of North Dakota has it. A public bank isn't there to make a profit, so bankers up top can skim all the money away. You get a loan for a home from there. There's not a lot of interest to pay back because they want to help the community. Remember that? There used to be a time when things like schools, post office, parks, even hospitals and doctors were not supposed to just be there to make a profit. We got to get out of that mentality entirely. Because otherwise, ironically, if the post office gets destroyed, who gets to seize it all? Who's going to have the money to seize it all? I mean, they're talking like it needs $30 billion, so somebody like Jeff Beeswax or Bill Gates or whoever, they could put that money in right now, all of it, and not even feel it. Maybe even Oprah could put it in and not feel it. I don't know. It's not that much money in the greater scheme of billionaire things. But if you let the whole thing collapse, ironically, Trump's self-proclaimed arch enemy, Jeff Beeswax, you know, Amazon with the throat slash logo and stuff, they're the leading candidate to seize the post office. Then what happens? The reason you have a post office to help the community is so people living in rural areas, just like the rest of us, can get letters. They can get our bills. We can get whatever. Not everybody is online or wants to pay everything online so they can get credit card fraud down their throat or something. It's an important function. You want to mail a simple letter and Beeswax or FedEx or UPS are in charge? Oh, well, our minimum charge for a little parcel is $10, or maybe it's 20, and that's what's going to cost to mail a letter if we let the post office be destroyed just so the worst president we've ever had in history can steal another election.